Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back then to WRC. We're here now for the 2 p.m. social race around Madrid. My name is Jack. I'm your commentator. A pleasure to be with you. Apologies for the long wait. We were just trying to get everyone into the lobby, but we are now here then. Solar in the Twitch chat. Welcome in, Solar. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate your well, I say I appreciate it. I kind of did blackmail you to get you in the lobby, but I do appreciate you sending me the setup for the 6 p.m. race. Later today, we have got M in the chat. We have got QZRT in the chat. We've got Crazy. We've got Agent 007, Freeze, Khalid. We've got Aviation, Butcher, Lily, TTV Kian, all waiting for the action. That's Ollie Southall, I believe, in the chat, saying, apologies for the delay, everyone. Wanted to make sure I know all drivers after last event. Completely understandable, Ollie. No need to apologise. Only a little bit of a delay. Won't be an issue at all. And all the drivers raring to go then. 21 drivers ahead of this session. As Solar, of course, in the Aston Martin, as he always is. First man out on track. Lily coming in with the dog emojis in the Twitch. We've got F1 Raw in the TikTok as well. Welcome in. We've got Scooters in the chat. Good to see you, Scooters. Good afternoon, my friend. Great to see you. I believe you're on now, I think you said a 30 stream watch streak or something like that. That is absolutely absurd. But thank you very much for all the support, Scooters. Also, the #1 gifted subber in the Twitch chat. So definitely go and show Scooters your love in the Twitch chat. He is an absolute demon. As Solar then comes through the final corner to begin the first lap of this session. The first flying lap for any driver. And it will be Solar who comes into turn 1 then. The Aston Martin driver has looked unstoppable recently. But I believe, what was it? Last night, 10 p.m. race. Reverse Austria was racing, did not win. So Solar, it turns out, can be beaten as he goes into the wall there after pushing through the chicane and has to back out of that lap. It turns out that Solar can be beaten, but can anyone beat him today around Madrid? Biggest enemy might be himself after that contact into the wall at the chicane. Mr. Bilski coming in with the TikTok gifts. Thank you very much, Mr. Bilski. Really do appreciate your support, my friend. You're definitely one of the top fans on TikTok, it must be said, coming in with the gifts. CW in the chat as well. Welcome in, CW. Good to see you, my friend. BP Ace saying I schooled him at Austria. So big words there from BP Ace. BP Ace is in this session in an Alpine. So I wonder if we may see the BP Ace Solar fight once again. As Solar, I believe, is going to come into the pit lane. You can see him drifting through the corners. Solar is into the pit lane then. I believe the first driver to set a lap will be Ju Jens, who is in the Alpine, runs very wide at the final corner. Comes across the line. It's a 32.6 for the Alpine driver. First lap around here. The Madrid ring then. Tennis goes into second with a 1:33.6. We've got Stu on a lap as well. He's just behind one of the Mercedes. I believe it was TTV Kian who goes into fourth as TG Skill Issue now goes to the top. First man in the 1:31s. And is only in the 1:31s by about a millisecond. Butcher goes into second place with a 1:32.2. We've got Khalid on a lap. We've got Daniel on a lap. Harvey now goes into 7th. Aviation saying, I want to see another Solar and Noah battle at the Circuit of the Americas or China. They were very good battles, I must say. Mr. Bilski in the Twitch now. Also liking to watch on the Twitch. I honestly think both of them have their pros and cons, to be completely honest. It's really just about preference, to be completely honest. CW saying, how you doing, mate? I'm doing very well, CW. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you're having a great afternoon, my friend. QZRT saying we've just hit 5k likes in the stream. And we're only in the first couple of minutes of qualifying. We've got about 13 minutes left of this qualifying session. So thank you to everyone that is liking the TikTok live, as that is Ian going very, very wide and into the barriers, picking up a bit of front wing damage. Denzel saying, is this different from the morning session, like different drivers? It most certainly is. You will see a couple of familiar faces that do like to race in most of the sessions, but you will also see a couple of brand new people who haven't raced at all, maybe didn't race this morning. We've got Lucky on RL and Sander on laps as well. We've got Top Fox just coming to the final sector. It's still TG Skill Issue out at the front. Solar saying, I know Sander is quick. So definitely watching Sander, as that's a big crash there. Into the wall for Top Fox. Very lucky to not be out of the session. That was massive impact into the barriers. And as I say, that was very lucky for the Haas driver that he is not out. Prancing Horse in the Twitch chat. Welcome in, Prancing Horse. Been a while, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Denzel saying, I'm new here, so kindly give me a summary. Okay, essentially, you are now watching WRC Online League, also known as MOR. How can I give you a summary? So this is a social race, to put it plainly. There is no championship. There are no points that are scored. It is just a race opened up to all the drivers in the league. And they can come through, race, get a bit of practice in. The championship events, they run on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Fridays being F2, Thursdays being a realistic performance division, Tuesdays being the best of the best. We're going into Season 5 in about 2 weeks' time. We will still run social races when Season 5 begins, but a lot more of the action will be championship events. Kay saying, what is the circuit? This is the Mad Ring, which is the newest circuit on the Formula 1 calendar, as TG Skill Issue evidently knows how to drive this track well, has just gone faster. A 1 minute 31.4 for him. Alexander saying, JP just got my first points in WRC in Australia at 12. I got P7, best racing day of my life. Congratulations, Alexander. Brilliant stuff. QZRT saying, Mad Ring is top 5 most difficult tracks on Monoposto. I can't get a single lap without crashing. It is very, very difficult, the Mad Ring. It's not an easy track at all. Brands plays in the Twitch chat. Afternoon, Brands. Welcome in, my friend. Prancing Horse saying they should add Malaysia just to fantasy. Honestly, that would be absolutely brilliant. I think I would get back into league racing if they added Malaysia. That would be absolutely incredible. Is lucky now goes into P11 then with a 1 minute 34.5. Solar's really struggling in this session. Has now invalidated his latest lap. Had contact into the barriers on his first lap. Someone asking which F1 is this. This is the F1 26 DLC on F1 25. Kian saying there is a 22% chance of rain in the race. So definitely not impossible, but unlikely against the odds, shall we say. Jacob saying, how do you have so much time to commentate? It's my job, Jacob. This is what I do. This is my shtick. This is my thing. As Liam Wolf comes through the final sector then. The McLaren driver towards the final corner, looking to try and get himself up the timesheets. Currently in 19th, has not set a lap, crosses the line, goes at P6 then with a 1 minute 33.7. Butcher is not on a lap. Emma just making their way through the middle sector. Monkey in the chat, in the Twitch chat. Welcome in, Monkey. Ian saying JP prediction. Are you talking about a prediction for you, Kian, or a prediction for the entirety of qualifying? Prancing Horse saying WRC really popped off. It most certainly did, Prancing Horse. It went quite viral. One of the videos got 600,000 views, I think it was, or something like that. One of the videos, I think it was a very weird video as well. It was like me commentating a safety car restart or something like that. Prancing Horse saying, I've not raced properly in a while. I want to get back into it. Most certainly, mate. You need to get back in it. As Emma now goes to the top of the timesheets then. A 1 minute 31.0. Standard, we have been told, is very good by Solar. Solar is on another lap. And this lap looks like it is a lot cleaner than Solar's previous laps. Max saying Nova Piper for pole. If Nova Piper was here, he would be on pole by 5 seconds. Let's be honest, chat. As one of the Alpines there was into the wall. Was that Sander? It was in the wall. No, Sanders in a Williams. Apologies. Prancing Horse saying we want a Solar win. No, we don't. Solar has won way too many races in the past week or so. We do not need another Solar win. Thank you very much. Butcher saying the gap between garages and the pits confuses me every time. Same here, honestly. Ian saying prediction for the race and maybe me. We'll just watch the end of this Solar lap, Kian. And then we will get back to your question. Solar comes towards the line then. And it is provisional pole for Solar. Was struggling in the early parts of qualifying. But it's a 29.3 for the Aston Martin. Sander goes into P2. With a 1 minute 30.5. But Solar, very, very clear in this session. Now, Kian, back to your question then. You asked for a prediction for the race. As always is the case, when Solar is racing, it would be hard to say that Solar isn't going to win. But we have got the likes of Sander, Emma, BP Ace. BP Ace will watch his qualifying lap now. If I had to give you a realistic prediction, I would have said Solar wins, BPA second, Sander third. If I had to give you a fantasy prediction, I would have said Sander wins, BPA second, Solar third. But that is a big shout as BPA does go into second then with a 1 minute 30.3 for the Alpine driver. Harco Bandit hasn't set a lap time and will not set one. At the moment, he has invalidated his lap. As in a prediction for you then, Kian. Well, you're currently in P11. Great qualifying so far for the Mercedes man. 5 minutes and 25 seconds left of qualifying. Banana Leclerc saying, is this the league, JP? This is a social race. This isn't the championship. If you are looking to join, I will send the link to our website in the TikTok chat. But back to your question, Kian. If I had to give you a prediction, I would say Kian is going to finish P7 in this race. I think there'll be a little bit of carnage. I think Kian will keep it clean. I vouch for a Kian P7 in this Grand Prix. I can sense it and I can feel it. Tennis saying I was on a flyer but then was unaware an Audi in my way, so I got his back and sent him into the wall. Definitely not the ideal qualifying lap for you. Solar in the TikTok chat. Welcome in, Solar. Good evening, my friend. If you are looking to join the league, copy and paste that link into your web browser and you will be able to join up to MOR Esports. Mr. Bilski coming in with more gifts in TikTok. Thank you very much, Mr. Bilski. Jay saying, where's Lucky finishing? Assuming he doesn't DNF like usual. Good question. I think P13 Lucky will finish. That would be my rogue guess. Haas saying the first turn. So Harko's struggling with turn 1. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left of qualifying then. Ian says he's hoping for a podium. Ian, if you get a podium in today's race, here at the Madrid ring, what will I do? What will I do? Ian gets on the podium. Someone give me a good bet. Aviation in the chat saying Kian podium would be generational. It most certainly would be. Prancing Horse saying, Kian manage a podium today. I'm going to gift a sub or two to our man JP. Kian, you got to do it then. You got to do it. Lily says send him £1,000. I don't have £1,000 to send to Kian. CW says free premium. I think Kian already has premium, if I'm not mistaken. Jacob says cover yourself in whipped cream and make a video. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's the sort of thing that Kian would want, to be completely honest. I should hope not, at least. Bitbull says free comms at midnight. I mean, if that's what Kian wants, I don't know. I think the comms would be pretty trash. I'm like a granddad with all the commentary that's going on. I'm in bed by about 12, 1 in the morning. Wake up at 9, do the 10 AM commentary. I'm like a zombie for the first couple of hours of the day. All of you could hear it at 10 AM this morning during the commentary. As we're into the final parts of qualifying then. PG skill issue will be the first of the top 6 to set a lap time. Was on provisional pole, but Solar absolutely flying out in front. Butcher's invalidated his lap. Solar gets through the chicane cleanly. We'll stick with the Mercedes-Benz. Ian saying, if I get a podium, you have to go bold. Oh my god. That would be quite something, I must say. I do need a haircut, to be fair, but I don't know about going bold. There's TG skill issue then. Round the final corner for the Mercedes-Benz. Is it going to be improvement for the Mercedes? He goes into 5th. So what about Solar then? Through the middle sector, he's not pushing. He's backed off of this lap. As has Butcher because of the invalidation. Lily running to the Twitch chat to say that I'm not going bold. I guess we'll have to see about that towards the end of this race. Sander currently in 3rd on his latest lap. We've been told by Solar that Sander is very quick. Can he try and get the improvement he needs to challenge Solar in this session? He's currently sat in P3 with his teammate in P4. Needs 2/10 to get ahead of BPA. Sander has backed out of the lap, and that might be qualifying over for Sander. Solar's going on to another lap now then. BPA is just starting his lap, and I believe that will be at the end of the session for Sander. He's got 30 seconds until this session ends. Ollie's saying, don't worry, Lily, it's a pretty safe bet for JP. No offense, Kian. To be honest, and again, no offense, Kian, don't get me wrong, yeah. About a week ago, I would have said, honestly, Kian, I will transfer you my life savings and go bold if you got onto the podium. That's how confident I would have been. But in the last couple of days, Kian has actually had some really decent results. He's been like 7th, 8th, has been 6th on track once. That scares me. Yes, we've got Solar, BP, Ace, and Sander in the lobby, but as we saw in the race at Kota at 10 this morning, the leaders can come together. And if Solar, BP, Ace, and Sander come together, it is all up in the air. As Solar has invalidated his lap then, BP Ace is on a lap, Sander invalidated his, so it's all down to BP Ace to try and take pole position. He needs to improve by a second to try and get onto pole. Is it possible for BP Ace? He's coming towards the final sector then. Can the Alpine driver snatch it away from the Aston Martin? Round the final corner we go with BP Ace. He can't improve. He improves by half a second, but it's not the improvement that he needed. Jude Jens has invalidated his lap, as has Rory, as has Tennis. Stu is on a lap as well, as is Fabian. Fabian to the final corner. And what can the V-Carb do then? Crosses the line now, was 22nd, goes into 8th. Stu will be the final driver to set a lap in this session then. And that is a very touch and go line, very wide. Is going to come round the final corner as there's someone in the barriers at the final corner. That's one of the Alpines. I believe that's Jude Jens. Stu stays in 18th. It is Jude Jens that was in the barriers. That is qualifying over, ladies and gentlemen. Solar then back on pole position. It is BP Ace in second with Sander in third. Emma 4th with Butcher in 5th place. Skill Issue 6th with Jens in 7th. Fabian lines up 8th with Rory in 9th place. Lucky 10th with Top Fox in 11th. MUFC Harvey lines up in 12th. Jay saying, JP, look at me. I went from 17th to 10th. Great improvement for Jay. Kian is locking in. What a lap then from Solar. A 1 minute 29.3. And that puts him on pole position. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a brilliant Madrid Grand Prix. Don't go anywhere. Don't turn off your phones. Don't turn off your TVs. The Madrid Grand Prix is up next. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. The sky is a little bit grey. Kian said, I think it was a 22% chance of rain in this race. And he is currently running, Solar currently running in first, on the formation lap. It's mediums for everyone, apart from Kian, who starts on the soft compound tyres. But the sky is looking a little bit grey. Only 22% chance of rain. Solar saying no rain expected. But the clouds are looking a little bit gloomy. So could that maybe change during the race? BP Ace in second said this guy Solar has just dragged me out of bed to finish P2 30 seconds behind. BP Ace definitely not confident then that he can beat Solar here today. His best opportunity, maybe down into turn 1. We will see what happens then as we move through towards the final sector of this formation lap. Solar from BPA, Sander from Emma, Butcher from Skill Issue. That is your top 6. We round the final corner then. The drivers get themselves lined up on the grid. Harco, and I believe that's Ryan. Yes, it is. Will line up last on the grid. The Madrid Grand Prix, we know this one can get chaotic. But how many fireworks will there be in this race? Butcher gets himself disqualified for an illegal parking position as TG Skill Issue lines up then. And all that's left to do is wait for the start. The engines raw to life in Madrid then. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers and we can go racing for the Madrid Grand Prix. Solar gets away very well from pole position. BPA's holds second then as we're 3 abreast into turn 1 in behind. Looks like they've all got through cleanly though. It's Solar that leads as we have got a yellow flag at the back. And Ryan gets a little bit out of shape as there's backwards in the wall. That is lucky on RL. With some big front wing damage, is going to have to come into the pit lane as VB is dropping back as well. TTV Kian already up to 7th as Solar has been overtaken by BPA's using the battery, and the Alpine driver now leads here in Madrid. I said his best opportunity would be into turn 1. I should have said lap 1 because the Alpine is through. Look at Sander on the outside of the banking looking to try and take second place. Solar we know is so quick, but Sander down the inside as he makes contact with the Alpine of BPA's and it's going to fall down to 4th. Emma now into 3rd. Solar retains 2nd place as Solar now looking for the inside line to retake the lead. They're wheel to wheel as we go into the final sector. Solar versus BPA's. BPA's just stays ahead of the Alpine, of the Aston Martin, sorry. And it's BPA's then that should be leading lap 1. Look at Emma down the inside. As into the final sector and the final couple of corners we are. And Solar will end the lap in 2nd place. BPA's took the opportunity, got the run. TTV Kian is in 6th place on the soft compound tyres. What a start from the Mercedes driver. He is absolutely flying. In 6th place. Has got Fabian Best right behind him, and Kian has used a lot of battery, and Fabian is going to have a look towards the outside line. Not able to gain on Kian though. What a great opening phase for the Mercedes. Said he's hunting a podium. And is definitely making those soft compound tyres work. The 2 Williams of Sander and Emma scrapping away. Sander will want to try and get through as quickly as possible as the yellow flags are being waved in the middle sector. I can't see any cars stopped on track as BPA's having to defend from Solar once again. Solar not using the battery though, uses a tiny little click of it to stick with BPA's as we've got another yellow flag. I believe that's one of the McLarens as Sander and Emma scrap away. The 2 Williams drivers, no team orders down at the Grove outfit. And Sander does get through then as he tags the wall, avoids the damage. Emma gonna look back down the inside, and this is only gonna lose the Williams duo time to the top 2 as they make contact, and that is gonna drop them out of the overtake boost of Solar and of BPA. So the top 2 will fight away then as Kian still in 6th place. Look at Solar then towards the outside of turn 1. This will turn to the inside for turn 2. Aston Martin versus Alpine. BPA's right up against the walls as we go towards the first straight then. It's Solar versus BPA's. Who's got more battery? They're about equal, but it's Solar with the battery, with the overtake boost advantage, sorry. And Solar retakes the lead then here in Madrid. What a fight out at the front. JDW saying, I didn't think F1 could ever get any more boring than you do this. Who are you shouting at? If you don't like it, mate, don't watch it. It's as simple as that. You are not being forced to watch the TikTok live, my friend. Complain all you want. This is brilliant action as BPA and Solar are fighting at the front. If you don't enjoy this, I'd recommend a therapist. I know a good one. BPA in 2nd place. Solar still leading the Grand Prix. But these two so close together. BPA was not confident on the formation lap, but he is definitely fighting away with Solar. We've got Josh in the chat as well saying Solar is a sweat. He is currently leading this race. Griff in the TikTok chat, welcome in as we have got a virtual safety car deployed. And what is the reason for the VSC being out in this race? I can't see anyone without a front wing. I can see people with a fair amount of damage. Doesn't look like we've got anyone that doesn't have a front wing, as Sander then is taking the opportunity to come into the pit lane. Kian said he got rammed into a wall and is coming into the pit lane to fix his front wing. There's quite a few people get drive-through penalties under the VSC then, and we can go racing once more here in Madrid. Solar leads from BP Ace in second place. It's a 2.4 second gap for Emma back in third place, but BP Ace, I think, maybe tagged the wall through the chicane there then, and has dropped back a little bit from Solar, who is really pushing on to try and get out of the overtake boost. EFC Footy saying, I ain't even part of this league and I'm watching this race. It's sick so far. I'm glad you're enjoying. We've got 89 people in the TikTok live. We've got 25 people in the Twitch chat. As BP Ace sets after Solar, 8/10 is the gap between the Alpine and the Aston Martin. CW, thank you for the kind words, my friend. Always appreciate your support. As BP Ace is now out of the overtake boost of Solar. Yellow flags deployed, and that is Stu, who has gone into the runoff at the top of the hill. Eggleston saying, what was the DSQ reason? I don't believe Butcher got off the grid, if I'm not mistaken. Stu has avoided damage, but is now going to be overtaken by Harco Bandit as Stu runs off the road. BP Ace used a bit of battery to get himself back in to the overtake boost. Solar a little bit wide on the exit of turn 2, and that is going to gain BP Ace some time. BP Ace knows he has got to stick with Solar. It's almost reminiscent of that, what was it, in 2020? It wasn't the British Grand Prix. I think they called it the 70th anniversary Grand Prix that Max Verstappen won, and there was that iconic radio message, GP telling Verstappen to drop back from the Mercedes. The tyres were getting too hot. And Verstappen's infamous reply, I'm not just sitting behind like a grandma. This is our only chance to be close to the Mercedes. Verstappen went on to win that day. Is that BP Ace's tactic? This is the only chance he has got to be close to Solar. He's not just sitting behind like a grandma. Is he going to take the opportunity to beat the Aston Martin driver? We will only find out the answer to that question at the end of the 29th lap, as we've got yellow flags waving once again, and MUFC Harvey is retired on track, so no threat of a safety car. As BP Ace is right up with Solar then. BP Ace, we know, was not confident, but is definitely stuck in behind Solar and is looking to try and pursue another race win in WRC. The Alpine driver, you can see the front left tyre not in the best shape for BP Ace. The front left does take a beating around this circuit as Fabian Best now comes into the pit lane. Sander moves up into 6th, past Ayan, who dives into the pit lane. Sander, we know, pitted under the VSC, looking for the undercut. Griff saying, Jack, when you're commentating, do you see the same screens we do, or do you have more data? I see exactly what you see, my friend. All I see game-wise is the game that you are watching. You are literally seeing exactly what I see. All I have on my second monitor is the Twitch chat and the Streamlabs overlay, so I can make sure nothing's lagging and I can change all the scenes and whatnot. But I don't have any extra info whatsoever. I don't have any notes. I don't make any commentary notes or anything like that. Everything that I say, everything that I speak about, all the info I give is completely off the top of my head. I personally think if I was reading off notes, I would sound a little bit robotic. I'm not a big fan of reading off of bits of paper. As the safety car is now deployed in this race then, I can't see anyone that has retired. Have we got someone without a front wing in this Grand Prix? It is. It's TTV Kian, who doesn't have a front wing, and that is why the safety car is deployed in this race. Solar and BP Ace come into the pit lane. Griff saying credit where credit's due. You do an amazing job with what you're presented. Thank you very much, Griff. I do appreciate that. As I said, I'm not a fan of reading off of notes or anything. I feel like if I had a bit of paper sat in front of me that had all, you know, previous race winners and all that sort of thing, I'd sound a bit monotone, you know. Oh, so this guy won the last race, and this is how many times this guy's won a race. I would prefer to just remember it myself. And the thing is as well, if I don't remember something, or if I say something incorrect, the support that we get on TikTok or on Twitch or wherever, whatever platform it is, there's normally someone that will know the right answer and can correct me. And I would prefer to be wrong and have one of you guys, you know, show off your knowledge about the league and correct me, rather than me having it all on a sheet of paper and knowing everything myself, if that makes sense. I think that is the big thing about streaming on Twitch and streaming on TikTok, rather than, let's say, being a proper commentator that just, you know, is at a track, or let's say Crofty, for example, for F1. I actually get to interact with you guys. I get to read your comments and talk to you mid-race. And that is, I think, the main thing with what I'm doing is as much as, yes, I am a commentator, my main job is to commentate the action on track. I think the biggest thing for me is making sure that all of you guys feel engaged, that all of you get your questions answered. If you want to know anything about the league or anything about me personally, you know, I've had a lot of questions about, you know, simple things like who's my favorite driver, what team do I support. If you have any questions, if you need any info, I can relay that to you. And that is what I value a lot in this league racing and in these TikTok and Twitch streams and whatever. And I'm glad that so many people do enjoy it, because it is a very big passion of mine and I do really enjoy it. And I'm glad other people have that same enjoyment out of it. Griff saying, and also knowing just how good a job you're doing, mate. Thank you very much, Griff. I do appreciate that. Someone saying, dude, shut up and talk about the race. What do you want me to talk about, my friend? We're under the safety car. It's lap 7, but you can already see that information. What would you like me to say? Why don't you come and commentate? I'm sure people would love you. We'll move on then to lap 8 of the Grand Prix. Solar is leading. We are under the safety car after TTV Kian knocked off his front wing. Hayes saying we ain't taking no JP slander here. Appreciate you, Hayes. Max Kebab Verstappen, interesting name, saying, who's your favourite driver? My favourite driver is Max Verstappen. Mr. Bilski saying, no thank you, JP can stay. I appreciate you, Mr. Bilski. Thank you very much. Hayden saying, first time watching, is there full damage and why do the cars go into ghost mode instead of normal? There is full damage. I believe at certain tracks we race reduced. We do sometimes do like the Monaco Grand Prix and whatnot. They will definitely be on reduced as they are still social races. As to why do the cars go into ghost mode, it just makes it a little bit safer, do you know what I mean? Because this isn't actually a league race, there are people in here that will be racing for the first time. We don't know their racecraft, we don't know how well they can race wheel to wheel. There are always lapped cars, as you know, people will pick up damage and might be a bit newer to the game. It's a lot easier to have the ghost mode on, so there aren't massive airplane crashes when someone spins in the hairpin and nobody can get past. And things like that. So it just makes it a little bit easier, if that makes sense. Griff saying, have you met any F1 drivers, Jack, or any races you have attended? I have never met an F1 driver, and I have never been to an F1 race in real life, unfortunately. I hope I will go one day, and I'm sure I will do at some point. But I have not been yet. I have met a lot of old MotoGP, British touring car drivers, British superbike drivers, and sorts of things like that. I used to go to Brands Hatch a lot with my dad when I was a kid. We used to live about 20 minutes away from Brands Hatch, so we used to go and watch all the BTCC and the British superbikes and things like that. So I do know a lot of the British racing. I know a fair amount of. Actual F1. Can't say I've ever been. Is someone saying solar wing damage? I don't believe solar has any wing damage. Who was saying that? Aviation. We go into turn 1. There isn't any wing damage for solar. Solar saying I do have wing damage. Well, we can't see any damage on Solar's front wing, but Solar saying he has damage. He has damage. Do you know what I mean? Someone saying, where are you from? I'm from England. I was born in Gillingham, which is in Kent. It's a seaside town, put it that way. I used to live in a place called Chatham, and that's when I was very close to Brands Hatch and went to Brands Hatch with my dad a lot. And I am now living in Milton Keynes. Not the nicest place, trust me, but close to Silverstone. So maybe I can get there one day. Griff saying, is there any race in particular that you're looking to go to? Honestly, I mean, you know, following F1, being such a big F1 fan, I would love to go to any race. Obviously, you know, everyone has their favourites. I would love to go to Silverstone. Obviously, it's my home race. I would love to go to Zandvoort. I would love to go to Hungary, Vegas. But realistically, you're an F1 fan. You want to go to any race, don't you? Hayden saying, sorry to hear that about Chatham and Gillingham. Honestly, your apology is not accepted. No apology will ever be accepted about that. Griff saying, would definitely recommend Melbourne too. Melbourne does seem like a good one. Melbourne always has really good atmosphere, I notice. Sander says, going to Zandvoort this year. You lucky, lucky man. Hi-Fi, aka Big Muck, says, I done soundproofing in Silverstone commentary boxes. When you next go, put in a good word for me, yeah? Aviation saying, opinions on Max Verstappen this year. Very quick, driving a tractor. I will say that much. Does anyone in the league use assists? Yes, they use certain assists, like traction control, ABS, things like that. Anyway, thank you for your questions, ladies and gentlemen. The safety car is now underway, so we'll focus on the racing action a little bit in this race, shall we? As Solar gets the Madrid Grand Prix back underway then. We move on to lap 10 of 29, and if Solar isn't telling fibs in the Twitch chat, he's got a little bit of front wing damage. BP Ace does not have any front wing damage, so could the Alpine driver try and nick this win away from Solar? The opening lap under the safety car restart. And you can see the Alpine very close in behind the Aston Martin. Emma falling a little bit back off this fight already as Sander looks round the outside up the hill. Bold move from Sander to get up into 4th place. That is a great overtake from him. And he is up into 4th, now behind his teammate. We've been told by Solar that Sander is very, very quick. But BP Ace currently is the man that is after him. We've just hit 15k likes in the TikTok live. Thank you very much to everyone that has been liking away. Let's see if we can get ourselves to 20k by the end of the 29 laps. We've still got 19 to go here in Madrid as BP Ace is right on the back of Solar. We're on board with the Alpine car chasing after Solar as BP Ace now picks up a 3-second time penalty. And how crucial is that going to be for this race? Because Solar could quite easily win this due to penalties as we've had a crash. And there were yellow flags. I believe that was Top Fox that had a bit of a moment as one of the Aston Martins is into the wall. That is lucky on RL that has picked up some big front wing damage. Solar continues to lead then. BP Ace in 2nd place. Emma runs 3rd with Sander right behind. And Sander looking to make a move on his Williams teammate. Is he going to look to the outside of the chicane? He most certainly is. Bold place to try and make an overtake. Emma breaks late enough as Lucky on RL comes into the pits and retires from the session. Sander looking to replicate the move on the last lap, but not able to get through. And Sander will have to try and find a way through somewhere else as Ju Jens also comes into the pit lane and retires from the session. Sander is gaining though on Emma round the outside of the banking. Lovely move from Sander to get up into the final podium place. 2.7 seconds behind BP Ace, who is fighting away with Solar. And if Solar has got front wing damage, it can't be affecting him that much because he is still gaining away from BP Ace, who might just be taking it a little bit easier on the track limits so he doesn't pick up another penalty. But Solar is dropping him out of the overtake boost at the minute, and that is going to be crucial for this race. As we make our way to the final corner, BPA's draining the battery, but he will not get the overtake boost on this lap, will he? Nope, he will. Never mind. The timing screens love to lie to me. And Solar leads this race then by 1.3 seconds. The damage, it might be a Massa in Catalonia comparison, where the damage is actually helping him. Sander running in third place. Emma still chasing their teammate. Skill issue in fifth with Fabian in sixth. We've got a big scrap here through turn one. Many cars involved. Stu is at the lead of this fight. Ian in 10th place. We've got Fox in 11th. Khalid in 12th. Ryan in 13th. VB Longneck in 14th place. As TTV Kian now moves up to 7th. And I said it, didn't I? I said Kian would finish 7th in this race. And Kian now running 7th on the medium compound tyres. Griff saying, did the McLaren go round? There is a McLaren towards the back. Does have a lot of damage, so I wonder if it is just the damaged front wing or if the McLaren did go round. And that is how they picked up that damage to the front wing. Rian still on the back of VB. VB gaining on Acid Khalid, who is on the soft compound tyres. As I feel like I've only looked away from the BP Ace and Solar battle for about a minute. And BP Ace is now 2.6 seconds behind. Solar in the Twitch chat was saying he got damage. But it's evidently helping him in some way, shape or form, because the gap now 2.5 seconds. Unless BP Ace has made a mistake, it says a yellow flag. And Top Fox is now in the barriers. Solar picks up a 3-second penalty, but that won't be harming him anymore as Top Fox stays out with the front wing damage. Liam Wolf comes into the pit lane to retire from the session. BP Ace running second then, 2.5 seconds off the race lead. Top Fox saying the McLaren rammed me into a wall. Open up a ticket if there isn't, if there was an incident, my friend, and we will most certainly have a look at it. I do see your question, gun emoji. I don't know what your IQ level is, but you'd think if I didn't answer you the first or the second time, I'm not going to answer you at all. So if you could please stop spamming the TikTok chat with your childish comments, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. As Emma has fallen out of the overtake boost then of Sander. Is just getting back into it though. Sander may have made a little mistake in that final sector. And Emma will still run then in 4th place with the overtake boost. It's TG Skill in 5th place. Fabian in 6th. TTV Kian running in 7th. Has Ian all over the back of him. The Mercedes versus the Red Bull. I'm pretty sure I've seen this script before somewhere in Formula 1. Thank you for the kind comments in the chat. I do appreciate that, everyone. I do appreciate the kind words. There's contact between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. I thought I'd seen the script before, and that was how the script ended. So evidently, the screenplay was correct. Ian into the back of TTV Kian. Neither of them picking up damage, which is the main thing, as BP Ace has disconnected. So we will get BP Ace back in as quick as possible and make sure they can continue on in this race. Ian setting after Kian once more then. Sander is now right behind BP Ace, who disconnected. So Sander will take that position pretty easily. Griff saying no way do they not get damage. We look at the front wing and yes, there is no damage to that Red Bull front wing. Someone saying, JP, can you commentate my dad making dinner? Depends what he's making, to be honest, mate. As again, there's contact between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. The Red Bull trying everything in the locker to try and get through on Kian. Kian defending as hard as possible. Someone asking, does Kian have damage? He does not. As Ayan running it in very, very deep. To the final corner we go then. Kian versus Ayan as Ayan goes into the wall. Turned in too early to the final corner. It's an easy mistake to make. Ayan turns in early, gets the damage, bounces into the outside wall. And the Red Bull with major front wing damage and will have to drag that injured bull back home to the pit lane. But has got an entire lap to drag that car round for. Griff saying, Hadjar in Miami, it was exactly that. Almost the perfect replica. As Ayan falls behind Longneck. Sama asking, what racetrack is this? It is the Mad Ring, the newest track on the Formula 1 calendar. Elite Silver saying, when does this league normally race? Every single day, my friend. We race every day, I believe 6 times a day. BPA saying, I can't join back. My wheels lost all force feedback. So that is BPA's out of this race then. Doug saying, JP, can you commentate me making microwave pizza? I don't know about microwave pizza. That's a bit poor. If it was like, could I commentate you eating a Domino's or a Pizza Hut? I think I would think twice about it and maybe say yes. But a microwave pizza is a little bit poor. Max saying, I don't know if it was a different commentator, but I swear you were going on holiday today. No, that was Jack Crossley. He is now on holiday till, I believe, the 19th. So if Jack somehow is listening along, I hope you are having a good holiday, Jack. We look forward to seeing you back. Max Kebab Verstappen saying, JP, can you commentate me making super noodles? No, this is poor guy. Yesterday, we had some really good ones. Super noodles, there's no effort that goes into super noodles. Come on now, guys. Come on, if you want me to commentate you making your food, you've got to put some love into the food. You've got to put some heart into the food. Okay? I'm not commentating no super noodles. Make a steak dinner and I'm all over it. Alright? Griff saying, Jack, what's your favourite tyre compound? Ultra Softs. If you know, you know. As VB then is gaining on Kian. Kian with more... I can't even speak. With more battery. I was thinking about super noodles there. Lily, saying, Jack eats the most mid food, by the way, and he's judging super noodles. I don't eat mid food. Kian says, can you commentate me making a brisket? That's more like it. There we go. Yes, I can commentate you making a brisket. That is much better. Someone saying, JP, can you commentate me making a T-bone steak with caviar, a glass of wine and mashed potatoes? Yes, I can do that. This is much better. Charlie in the Twitch chat saying, JP, can you commentate me cooking a stir fry? Of course I can. See? We are doing this again, chat, but if we put some effort in. Perfect. This is what we love. Some effort goes into the food, and JP can commentate. No problem. Out in front then, lap 17 of 29. It's Solar that leads from Sander. 5.4 seconds. I will paste the link into the TikTok chat. If anyone is looking to join the league, then head to our website. Paste the link into your web browser. Sign in using your Discord and get yourself involved in the action. As Longneck is looking towards the outside of Kian. Just has to get out of the throttle. Kian once again with more battery manages to stay ahead. Kian defending that 7th place like his life depends on it. Hi-Fi, aka Big Muck, saying you need to put a selfie cam up so we can see you commentating. Honestly, I have thought about putting a webcam on while I commentate. But the thing that swayed me is I always try and be as professional as possible. And you don't see a crofty webcam, do you, during Sky Sports F1? So I've always thought, well, maybe not. If it would be something that you guys would be interested in, I would be more than happy to trial it for a race and see what you guys think. But I've always just thought it might be a little bit unprofessional, if that makes sense. VB is really battling away with Kian, and this is the battle for 6th now as Emma has come into the pit lane and retired from the session. Kian still fighting away and still defending that position. Neither of them really with any battery, but it's Kian that is ahead. VB still in behind as they jump over the chicane. Those sausage curbs really do work at that chicane, don't they? As VB running a little bit deep at the top of the hill. Noah saying, thanks for the video, my friend. No problem. An absolute pleasure, Noah. As Harco Bandit now goes through. Harco Bandit looking to get through. Kian is spun round and into the barriers. It was a late move by Kian to try and defend. And Harco Bandit straight into the rear end of the Mercedes. Kian into the barriers. Front wing damage for the Mercedes and down to 8th place. He was defending like his life depended on it. And Kian can be proud of that defense, most certainly. Did I hear a tyre blow up? Is that a puncture on the front left for Kian? I feel like he's really having to understeer his way through these corners. Has Kian got a puncture on the front left tyre? Because that front left does not look at all intact. As he comes into the pit lane, I'm sure Kian will confirm with us, that tyre looked punctured. As out of the pit lane comes Kian. He did have a puncture. So that is the 3rd puncture that we have seen. Just today, we saw 2 in Kota, and we have now seen 1 here tonight, or here this afternoon, should I say. I appreciate the kind words, Griff. Thank you very much, my friend, and Lily as well. Thank you. Doug saying, JP, can you commentate me coming last in every single WRC race? Not a problem. That's kind of what I'm hired to do. Is commentate these races as Kian now looking for the move on Stu. Kian did not repair the front wing damage. It didn't look like. Stu also with front wing damage. It's still Solar out in front then by 5.6 seconds. Sander giving everything to try and catch up, but Solar just looks far gone in this race at the moment. The Aston Martin, usually unstoppable in these races. As Griff says, we've hit 20k likes then in the TikTok live. Thank you very much to everyone who has been liking the stream. Griff saying the 20k is for JP. I appreciate that, Griff. Thank you. Doug saying, are you commentating the 4 PM race? I most certainly am. Pretty much as soon as this race ends, there'll be about a half an hour break, if that. And then we will be on the 4 PM race as well. Aviation saying 5.6 seconds with wing damage, by the way. Absolutely goated. And that is one thing we got to remember. Solar said he had wing damage under the safety car. And if anything, it's only made him quicker. Noah's saying Madrid's a long one. It is very, very long, I must say. Even commentating it, I mean, all these races normally go for about an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and a half. But there's certain tracks that always feel a little bit longer. Madrid, definitely one of them. Silverstone, I would say, is one of them. Griff saying it's almost midnight for me, but it's so good to watch. I respect the dedication highly, Griff. That is absolutely incredible. People asking how do they join in the chat. I have sent the link to the website. Copy and paste that into your web browser. As Scooters, I really do apologize. I didn't see your gifted sub about half an hour ago. Thank you very much, Scooters, for the gifted sub, my friend. I do apologize. I didn't see that when it happened. I will try and get some sort of alert that plays in my ears when people do gift subs and whatnot. But thank you very much, Scooters, for the gifted sub, my friend. I really do appreciate it. Chipscal saying, my race, 2 drive-throughs, 3 wing damages, pit crew not doing what I want them to do, so I pitted 5 or 6 times. My word, that is definitely not a great Madrid Grand Prix for you. That is for sure. 6 seconds then is the lead between Solar and Sander. BP Ace in second place after disconnecting. Somehow, BP Ace's AI still running in third and may actually get a podium here today. DG Skill Issue in fourth with Fabian Best in fifth. Harco Bandit and VB in sixth and seventh. Ryan in eighth with Acid Khalid in ninth. TTV Kian running 10th. And this is the point that I make about Kian. You know, a few months ago or even a few weeks ago, he may not have been in this position. Yes, don't get me wrong, you could look at it and go, he's 25 seconds behind Khalid, but he had that crash, was fighting away with VB for P7, who is now fighting away with Rian, who is in ghost mode. But Kian doing an incredible job in the last few weeks to really practice and really improve, getting his racecraft better. And honestly, and I don't just say this because I like Kian, as he gives us a wave to all the fans at home, I honestly think, give it a couple weeks, and Kian will stand on the podium. And again, I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with Kian. I honestly think I can see shades of best Noah in Kian, where Noah was in Kian's position, was a bit down the order, never really looked a contender for a race win. But then Noah stepped into an F2 car, was absolutely brilliant. And Noah is now a world champion in WRC. And I do genuinely think that in a few weeks' time, Kian will have stood on a WRC podium. Whether that comes from a massively chaotic race, whether it comes from a master strategy, I do honestly think TTV Kian will stand on the podium within the next fortnight, because he has really been improving. And that is the pleasure that I get being one of the main commentators for WRC, is I get to watch near enough every single race. So I get to see the improvement of people and sometimes even the downfall of people. And Kian, he's been around for a long time, but in the past few weeks has really made an effort to improve in WRC, has been grinding and grinding and grinding, racing as much as possible. And I really do think it is only a matter of time before Kian tastes some champagne. There's Lily in the chat saying default dance because I said Fortnite. Not that Fortnite, Lily. Fortnite is in the length of time. Not Fortnite Battle Royale. No default dancing in my TikTok chat. Thank you very much. JP default dancing coming. I don't think so. I don't think that will be happening. Happening. To be fair, I probably shouldn't admit this. I do know how to do the default dance. I do know how to do it. I do know the moves. But I will not be doing that. Nobody will be seeing that. QZRT saying, JP, can you commentate me trying to figure out the magic behind how to drive F2 cars on half traction control? I feel like we'd be there all day, mate, to be completely honest. Lewis saying, what races are on today? We've got this race right now, obviously. We've then got 4 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m., if I'm not mistaken. Noah saying a different dance incoming. I don't want to know what you were on about, Noah. I'm not going to ask questions. Shadow saying, is this low graphic settings? I believe most of my settings are turned down quite low, just so my PC doesn't blow up, to be completely honest. Doug saying, JP, how many times do you think I can come last in a row? Let's go for 7. I reckon 7. As Stu is gaining on his teammate Top Fox, who I believe has disconnected from this race. TG skill issue now gaining on BP Ace's AI. Lewis saying that's Saturday sorted. Lily saying, please tell me my comment went through. The last one before you said that, Lily, was ha ha ha. The one before that was saying he does a great default dance. Not sure if they're the comments that you meant. Ian saying, little man's awake. He says hi and is helping me towards the end of the race. Welcome in. You can be proud of your dad. He has done a brilliant job in this race. Even with the front wing damage, still clawing that car to 10th place. Ian and the little man fighting away in the final parts of this Madrid Grand Prix. And I said that I can see Kian getting a podium. Is that what he needed? His skill issues had a moment. And it can't have been contact because BP Ace is in ghost mode. The skill issue has been into the barriers somewhere, trying to get onto the podium. Griff saying, how are they able to type in chat and race? I can't even race when I'm concentrating. I think they just go into AI mode, to be honest. They go into the pause menu and then just start typing. I would never do it, but... There's Solar now in the chat says, I don't know. Solar always flexing out in front. 6.5 seconds in front is the Aston Martin man. Charlie saying, or do the voice to texting. That's a very good point as well, to be fair. Lily just saying she sneezed. Bless you, Lily. As Solar continues on then, 3 laps away from the Grand Prix victory. BP Ace tried his best to fight him, but it didn't look like it was going to work out for him. The Aston Martin driver. Honestly, Solar, what do I even say about you at this point? You can come back in the Twitch chat. We know that you're leading by 6 seconds. We know you're absolutely rapid. What do I even say to describe you at this point? Zen saying, poor Solar performance. Only 6 seconds clear on a track. He's a second quicker. I mean, what words do we use to describe him? You know, everyone knows he's quick. Everyone knows he's fast. Everyone knows that he's talented. Aviation says GOAT. Solar says enthusiastic. Charlie says sweat. That's actually a good question. If all of you in the chat could describe Solar in one word, what would it be? So we've got Aviation saying GOAT, Solar saying enthusiastic, Charlie says sweat. What does everyone else think in the chat? Gersey says incredible, Noah says speed, QZRT says unemployed, Max Kebab Verstappen says rapid, Oleg says fast, Kian says unemployed, Brand says slow. Lily says 6-7. BFC says cinema. Nera Sisters says cheetah. Griff says panel, as in solar panel. Good one, Griff. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. Max Kebab Verstappen says unhygienic. Charlie asking Solar how many hours he's got on F1. That is probably a very good question, to be completely honest. How many hours would you need to be that quick? Harvey saying bull right. Cedric saying king. Raphael saying unloved. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best question to ask the chat. BFC saying worrying. Okay, how do we get this back to our normal action? If we had one word to describe TTV Kian, what would we say, ladies and gentlemen? In the chat. What do we think about Kian? He waves to us at home. Noah says goat. Zen says goat. Charlie says goat. Brands Play says goat. Everyone is saying goat in the chat. Kian has got all the fans at home. Everyone knows that Kian is him. The GOAT of WRC. Griff says, if we had one word to describe JP, what would it be? Oh, God. I'm worried about what the comments are going to be here. Solar says he has 660 hours on this game. Alexander says GOAT. Benji says GOAT. Max Kebab Verstappen says daddy. QCRT says GOAT. Olix says annoying. Lily also says daddy. Griff says watch Lily say 6'7". Well, quite far off with that, Griff. Harvey says best of all time. BFC says JP, you're the GOAT, ignore all the haters. Mr. Bilski says the best. Aviation says commentator. To be fair, that's probably the most accurate one. I guess that is the best way to put it. I am the commentator, yeah. But no, I do appreciate all of the kind comments. Solar says GOAT from the lead of the race. But no, thank you everyone for the kind words. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Griff, for the wingman. Proper set me up there. We're on the final lap of this race then. And Solar is leading here in Madrid. VB saying, Jack, look at my tyres. They definitely don't look in good state. I can tell you that. And half a front wing as well for VB. But for Solar, he's driven that well. We've barely spoken about him, to be completely honest. And that is what great drivers do. They get off into the distance and they make you forget about them until it's the final lap. And then you realise, oh, wait, Solar's about to win the race again. People may say it's boring, but I say we're watching talent in motion. Solar, easily one of the best that WRC has to offer. And it is going to be another race victory for Solar in WRC. Towards the final corner, he comes for Aston Martin. And Solar then sees the checkered flag first to win the Madrid Grand Prix. AERT, Sander, that's a bit of a mouthful, finishes in second place. BP Ace's AI is going to come home for third place here. BP Ace, who left the race, when would it have been? It would have been at least halfway through the race. Is going to finish in third with his AI. BP Ace saying, I'm actually the GOAT. Incredible stuff. So it'll be BP Ace that finishes in third then. TG Skill Issue coming home in fourth. Harko in fifth with Fabian in sixth. Ryan finishes seventh with Khaled in eighth. Longneck in ninth. Kian comes home to take 10th place. Top Fox 11 with Stu in 12th. Rory 13th with Tennis Pro in 14th place. Solar then, we know it gets hot in Madrid, but Solar lighting things up at the Mad Ring. There's your pun, Griff. It's Solar that wins here in Madrid. We had Emma, Ian, Liam, Lucky, Jens, Harvey, Daniel, and Butcher all failing to reach the flag. I know I won't be here on Wednesday, but it is definitely going to take an eclipse to beat Solar in WRC. Griff saying, I can hear you trying not to laugh. I'm sorry. That was a good one. There's going to be an eclipse on Wednesday. Come on, Griff. Solar eclipse, his name is... That was class. Come on. Give me some love here, guys. That was brilliant. That was the best one. That was the best one I could come up with. Come on now. It's Solar that wins the Madrid Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. Sander in second, with BP Ace taking third. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for hanging out with me and making this as interesting as possible. My name's been Jack. I've been your commentator. I'll be back with you in about half an hour for the 4 PM race. Hopefully, we'll see you then. But until then, that's all from me. Take care and ta-da.